Hiya folks, and welcome to my new studio. So I intend to do product reviews from here where possible. There is quite a lot of products that come into the place. A lot of stuff is garbage, never gets reviewed. Some of the stuff is actually pretty good, and I'm going to go through some of the bits and pieces today that are still worthwhile when it comes to your Christmas needs. So the first one I'm going to give a mention to is this little thing here. This is a digital wireless reversing camera. Now this is mostly available on Chinese websites, but you will find this in other places as well. FX is the brand up here, and it's called an FX11F, and it actually is a reversing wireless camera. So when you go into reverse, it's connected up to that wireless switch, and it comes on its own in the back of the car. Now, there are some technical difficulties with connecting up that sort of thing, but it comes with a little screen you mount on your dashboard, and everything you need to mount that, including a little cable that converts it into a 12 volt. And it also has a metal, this is a metal, hear that there, metal plate with the reversing camera actually on it that has night vision essentially as well attached to that, and that comes with all the cables you need to hook it up to your reversing light. Essentially when your light comes on the back, the camera will come on too. You can wirelessly transmit to it to request to come on in the first place. There's a 12 volt for inside your car. There is a mount for your windscreen. So you have a suction cup mount for your windscreen if you don't want to mount it in properly. And then a list of little doodads and wires and kind of cable ties and bits to make it all together. Very little inventive thing. Don't know about the legality of actually using it on the road, but I found it to be pretty easy to figure out how to use it. It's pretty manual. Also has a DVR function, so it actually records you when you're reversing as well. So if something happens, you've got evidence of your maneuvers as you're recording. All comes in a neat little box. Delivery was fairly rapid. This is not sponsored. These are not sponsored items, but I will tell you that this was received for free. So at the end of this video, I'm going to give it away to somebody as well. So you're going to get one of these for Christmas at least, because I don't want it. I don't need it. Most of the press cars I have come with reversing cameras on them already, so I don't really want these. But if you're driving a van or a truck or something like that, might be good. Not sure the range of it, but you know, you're going to get around. It only has a picture of a car on the front, so I'd imagine the length of a car. So I wouldn't say like a 40-foot truck might work with this, but certainly a small rigid body truck might work. So check it out. That is FX. Digital wireless reversing camera that has wireless connectivity, has recording function, and has what they call DVR, and 160 wide angle view lens, including being IP69K waterproof. And so it's all in that one box. A pretty good little offering. Right, let's crack on with the next product. Just before we leave that product, I did find an installation video of Tim here from Barn Club Cars installing it into a T5 transporter. The exact same camera. It's definitely worth a look, so have a look at the links down below.
Reverse lights, so it means that when I put the van into reverse, the camera comes on and I can see behind me.
So this one is called Thinkware Dashcam. This is a dashcam without a screen. So some of the dashcams you know come with a drop-down screen or a screen you can look at the whole time. It's always running, it's always there. But this one hasn't actually got one. This records the SD card and is distraction-free essentially. It's also very discreet installation because it's very thin, so it doesn't stick out when you have it there in front of it. So the dash cam itself is just literally this. It's only a tiny thing. I'll just show it to the camera there. It's only a little small thing. You can see very tiny, very useful. Focus is a problem here, but very small little dash cam. Very neat, very simple installation. It mounts this way up, so you've got a little connectors here in the bottom for mounting it directly onto the top of the windscreen, and it points forward like this. Now you do have some controls on the back of this here. It does have a little screen that tells you about recording, whether it's recording or not. The light that flashes on and off when it is. It also has a speaker and it has a mic, so it records on the inside. SD card is in it, but also included in the pack is a reverse cam. So a camera that you mount in your back window or the back of your car, somewhere little tiny. Again, very discreet little product. This just sits in the back of the car looking out through the back window the whole time. So it's only a small little barrel thing. It comes with a 3M mounting pad, so it's permanently installed. You don't get a suction cup, so this one is not for kind of moving from car to car. This is more about installing it and leaving it permanently attached to the car. You do get a 12 volt connector to it, so it'll go into a 12 volt socket. Now one thing I have noticed with both of these electronic devices I'm showing you here, both a digital wireless reversing camera and a dash cam, is that some of the more modern cars don't come with a 12-volt socket up the front. A lot of them just come with USB-C now, or USB-A and C, or some version of that. And a hell of a lot of them don't come with a 12-volt socket in the boot. So if you're intending on running your power from the boot to the rest of the car, you might run into problems. So best to check your car to see what kind of connectivity is already in your car before you go any further. So this dash cam, this is the box out dash cam. It is the Q1000 Quad HD. So this is HD. So this is about as HD as you can get. And all the tests I've run, it seems to do one of the better jobs. But I actually think the Thinkware one without the camera in, without the screen on it, is actually a good thing, because you tend to look at the screen to make sure it's recording. Is it recording? Has it caught that? Has it caught? You tend to be distracted by the little screen near your windscreen. Plus, this version is a much more discreet install. It's just that size. Look at the size difference between the two of them. So you can visually see one of these dash cams in the window. You might not even see this one in the window. And even flat on the bottom of them is like that. So they're very flat, very narrow, looks like part of your car. I think that's pretty good value as well. If I have a link for any of these things, I'll put it in the comments down below. Other stuff that you could possibly get for your kind of car nut out there as well. Things like a subscription to Netflix is always a good one. A subscription to Amazon Prime, because that's where the Grand Tour is on. Maybe a subscription to Apple Music or Spotify or one of those other streaming services. They're always pretty good. Try to shop. I know I like getting underwear and dressing gowns and pajamas, and you know, they're all pretty cool. They could be a secondary one. And really the best recommendation I can give you is to pay them a bit of attention is number one. Ask them if they're okay is number two. But if you really want the best suggestion I can possibly give you, it's quite simple. Get a big basket, buy little small things and fill the basket up with stuff, including like a bottle of his favorite whiskey or brandy or gin or whatever it is. Put it into the thing, and a pile of other smaller gifts. That way you can include the socks and you can include the underwear. You can do all that stuff into it as well as the dash cam, and as well as the reversing camera if you want as well. So you can have it all in the one box, and that's good. Look, whatever happens, have a great Christmas holiday break, whatever you call it in whatever country you're in. In this country it's called Christmas, and we kind of celebrate it together. It's always a bit of a letdown. Now I'll try and see you on the far side of Christmas, which would be closer to the new year. And we'll get back to doing the Sunday service. Thank you very much for watching. And until the next time, I'll see you on the far side.